Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I am back with a special kind of announcement and I guess a special video. I know this is an unusual upload day for me, but that is part of the announcement. The announcement is for the rest of this week I will be doing Storytime week here on my channel. It is just too hot for any type of makeup related videos, too hot for hunts and leaving foundation all day, too hot for swatches, just too hot. Okay, but especially with this ring light, like this does not help. By the time I sit down and start recording anything, I feel like my face is melting off. If you hear anything in the background, there is a fan blowing in this room because it's just nothing is working to keep this heat down in New York right now, so I can't deal with makeup right now. I will be back. Anastasia did just release a brown girl friendly foundation, so I will be testing that out as soon as she releases the shade that I'm in. It got pushed back. But before I start rambling anymore, let me just get into today's story. Now, this story actually just happened yesterday. It's kind of another inspiration for Storytime Week because after it was all over, I was just like, is this real life? Did that really just happen? I have to come tell this story to my wonderful subscribers. If you have not watched my previous story times, if you don't follow me on other social media accounts, or if you just haven't been paying attention to things that I say in my other videos, I live in Long Island, New York, but I work in the Bronx, so public transportation is my best friend. And yesterday was like no other day. I went to work, and I was on my way back to work at Penn Station. They announced what track the train was going to be on, so I zoomed down there. I walk all the way to the back of the train because keep it above. I don't like sitting next to people on the train. I don't know. I just New Yorkers are a special breed, and a lot of them just are obnoxious. So I prefer to not sit next to anyone on the train. So if I have to go all the way to the back, I will do that. So I go all the way to the back of the train, but it is the weekend, so even though it's all the way in the back, like it's still getting full of people. More and more people are getting on the train. I'm like, damn it, I feel like someone's gonna end up asking me to sit down. So the door is literally seconds away from closing, and this girl rushes on and she walks up to me and she's like, can I sit there? Can I sit there? Now, I like to sit on the outside seat because I don't want to be caught slipping on the inside seat of the train next to someone I don't want to sit next to. So she's like, can I sit there? Can I sit there? I'm assuming she's like out of breath because the train is seconds from leaving, and you do not want to miss an LIR train, all right? It's not like the subway where the next 4 will come in the next 5 minutes. You have to wait like another hour for the train to come. So I'm like, sure, go ahead. You know, I move out of the way so she can sit on the inside seat. So this is where this story begins. She sits down, instantly looks at me and goes, do you have your receipt? And I'm like, receipt for what? And she's like, your ticket. Do you have your receipt ticket? When you purchase an LIR ticket, you have the option of getting a receipt. I never take those because I check my bank account on the daily, so I never take them. So I'm like, oh no, I'm sorry, you know, I never take those with me. And she's like, damn, man, you don't understand the day that I just had. I tried buying a ticket, but my card got declined. I didn't use my Chase card, I used my company card, and my boss is an asshole. She told people that I can't work on certain sites, so I'm not making my bread. If I can make bread, I would have just used my Chase card. I'm looking at her like, see, this is why I sit all the way in the back of the train. I'm just like, who cares? She's going on and on about how she does not have a train ticket. She's like, I would have asked my boyfriend, but I already asked him to cover some other things. Now I feel like fighting with him, and I'm so angry, yo. So I don't want to be that big of an asshole, even though, you know, like deep down I low-key don't care. So I'm like, oh, well, you know, on the LIR they have the option of, if you don't purchase your ticket beforehand, you can either pay cash on the train, even though they're going to charge you more for buying it on the train, or you can show your ID and they'll mail you a bill. So I look at her and I'm like, oh, well, you know, like if you show your ID, like they'll mail you the bill. And she's like, girl, I ain't paying for this ticket. But I'm just like, God, here we go. It's gonna be one of those days. It's gonna be one of those days. I can't just get home after being up since God knows what time this morning. I had to go to work. I just want to go home, and it's gonna be one of those days. So she's like, yo, the last time I tried boosting a train, you know, like these ticket takers, some of them are cool, but some of them just be dragging it. They be so strict. And I told her like, oh, I dropped my ticket, whatever. And she was like, oh, I need this, I need that. So I was like, I don't have any of that. So she was like, I'm gonna call the police, and I just booked it off the train. Like, I ran off of that train. After that, I was like, never again. And I'm looking at her like, never again? Like, what are you doing right now? How is this never again? So now she's coming up with all of these excuses she's gonna give when the ticket taker comes. I'll start crying. I had a really bad day at work. I'm just trying to get home, please. Da da da. I lost my wallet. And one thing I didn't understand is why she asked if I had my receipt, because she pulls out a receipt that she said she found on the ground. So I didn't understand that part. And I'm just looking at her like, yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll definitely work. Like, really? So the ticket taker is now 5 rows away, and she's still going off. Oh my god. And I'm just looking at her like, if you're a scamming ass, don't man up. Like, this is the risk you take when you live that scamming life. So she looks at me and she goes, okay, when he comes, just tell him that you bought our tickets and you lost mine, but I have the receipt. I was like, oh hell no, look here, Joanne, I'll be damned. No, I will not. You better think again. And now the ticket taker gets to us, and I hand him my ticket. Before he can even punch a hole into the ticket, she's like, the other one was dropped while we were in the city, but we have the receipt for it. And she hands him the receipt. And I'm just thinking, like, does the price on that receipt even add up to how much it would be for 2 tickets for the both of us? Look. Get me in some fucked up shit where I can't make it home, or I end up getting thrown off this train, or even worse, like the police involved, and making bread is going to be the least of your worries. So he takes the receipt, he looks at it, he looks at his watch, he looks back at us, he looks back at the receipt, and now I'm moving like I have ants in my pants. I'm like, God, I just want to go home. Like, why does stuff like this happen to me? And he looks at it again, looks back at us, and goes, okay, you guys are going to Babylon, right? And she's like, yeah, we are. He writes something on the back of her receipt, stuffs it into the little ticket holder thing. If you've been on the LAR, you know what I'm talking about. And then turns around to do the other side of the row that we're sitting in. This dumb bitch doesn't even wait for him to, like, move on to, like, 10 rows behind us. Gonna look at me and go, girl, it worked. Oh my God, high five. So she pulls out her phone and she calls someone, and she's like, yeah, it worked. I need you to come pick me up. And I'm assuming the person on the phone asked, like, what'd you do? Like, how did it work? And she was like, oh, I found some receipt on the ground and my girl hooked me up. Like, she's bumping elbows with me and, like, we're cool. And I'm just like... So she hangs up with that person, and now she's just scrolling through Snapchat showing me Kim Kardashian's snaps like... Girl, who she thinks she fooling? She know that butt is fake. Like we're best friends now. And I'm just like, I want to say I'm not used to this type of craziness, but this is New York City, so yes, I am. So we finally start pulling into Jamaica. Yes, all of this happened from Penn Station to Jamaica. And I'm like, you're getting off here to go to Babylon, right? And she was like, girl, hell nah. My boyfriend's going to pick me up in Jamaica. What? All of that was for a train ticket ride from Penn Station to Jamaica? Granted, I'm not specific, but I'm pretty sure that ticket is only like $7.25. All of this for $7.25? I don't know. Really? In that moment, I thought about all of the things that I wanted to say to her. Like, you really put me through this and put yourself through that for $7? Really? Mind you, sitting there, full acrylic set on, hair looks like it was done not too long ago, but we're boosting $7 train rides. Really? There was a lot I wanted to say to her, but I did have to catch my connecting train, so I was just like, bye Joanne, bye. She's like, bye girl, have a great rest of the day. And I'm just like, oh, she must be crazy. Like, it's one thing to do some shit that you know is illegal and, like, be low-key about it, but she was acting like that wasn't anything to her. So I got off that train and got onto my connecting train and called the only person who can ever help me decipher the crazy stuff that happens to me on my commute, my mother, to let her know how a complete stranger just tried to make me her accomplice. Well, not try, I guess she accomplished it. Accomplice on skipping out on paying for the train ride. So that is it for this video. I hope the craziness that is my life has put a smile on your face. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, and subscribe down below. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to check in to tomorrow's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Baby, I
like your style.